Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Charlotte Key, the principal sculptor of this Weathertop limited edition environment. We chose to make this location as a statue because we love making environments, and this particular place is where a lot of the most memorable moments of the film happen. The hobbits light the fire in the cave. Frodo wakes up and he's mortified that they've drawn attention to themselves. They flee up the stairs and they come face to face with the Ringwraiths. A battle ensues and Frodo puts on the ring and sees them in the unseen world for the first time. And Frodo's stabbed by the wraith with the Morgul blade. This is a wound that he never fully recovers from. And then Aragorn steps in and saves the day and really solidifies his place as the protector of the hobbits and the ring. And it's our very own project director, Ben Price, who was in the costume and stabbed Frodo with that blade. The process of making this collectible began with finding as much reference material as possible, things like the digital matte paintings, set plans and set photos. So it's our mission just to bring these together in order to create the Weathertop that for us symbolises the look and feel of the environment across the entire trilogy. Having the set plans was incredibly useful. However, things like the ellipsoid ceiling were noted and dimensioned, but there was no detailed construction plans. There was a lot that I had to interpret and imagine. I began to build the architecture and then damage it. This would be the most accurate way of making the damaged ruins look as if they were once an entire structure. So then when it came to destroying the entire structure, it was a gradual process. The initial going in with the wrecking ball was pretty fun. It was really fun sculpting the statue that's lying on the ground that Frodo hides behind. There was a lot more reference for this particular statue than any of the others because you really see it in the films. So while I was 3D modelling the architecture, Sean Bolton was sculpting by hand the terrain. He then began to meticulously detail in all the grass, the rocks, and also the iconic cave. Once the parts were finished with the digital modelling, Shanti then reassembled all the printed parts. He started with the set dressing elements, bringing the piece to life with all the extra organic details. The grass and the rock and the terrain really anchor the architecture in its location. After that was completed, it was sent to moulding and casting. Then it was handed over to the paint shop where Yasmin and Freya did an incredible job. Painting the collectible as if it was twilight or dusk was a first for us, but we really felt like some of the most beautiful moments from the film are in that lighting, so we really wanted to try and capture that. There's some really cool details. The cave itself, the fact that we could make the fire light up is really special, and while it's cosy and warm, it also reminds us that this beacon of light has actually put the hobbits in grave danger. I really love the balance and the combination of the architecture and the natural landscape, because there's also that balance of the digital and the handmade techniques that went in to create this piece. This is kind of like the evolution of Weathertop for us, and we see it as the ultimate version for collectors. And it all comes together to make a beautiful recreation of one of the most iconic locations in the film trilogy.